Marvel Rivals Season 9 is not just another update. This might be the biggest meta reset the game has ever had. We're getting a new Strategist, a Black Widow rework, slower ultimates, a new shield system, team-up changes, a new map, and enough balance changes that the heroes you're playing right now might feel completely different after this patch. So before Season 9 goes live, let's break down the biggest changes, who got buffed, who got nerfed, and why this update could completely change how Marvel Rivals is played. What is up, guys? Brolic here, and today we finally have the official big Marvel Rivals Season 9 update news. And this is honestly one of those seasons where there is way too much going on to just call it a normal balance update. Season 9 is officially called The Mystery of Thebes, and it officially launches on July 10th, UTC. The whole theme this time is built around Apocalypse, Thebes, and the murder mystery style storyline where Apocalypse is taken out, and now everyone is trying to figure out exactly what happened. But the story is only part of it, because Season 9 is also bringing 2 new heroes as usual, a new map, a new team-up system, a new health mechanic, a huge balance patch, and some pretty big changes that are probably going to shift the meta immediately. So expect that on Friday. Let's start with the new heroes. The first new hero, Jubilee. Jubilee is joining Marvel Rivals as a strategist and also as my new main for Season 9, which is already a big deal because anytime a new support style character gets added, the entire team comp conversation changes. But with this, I have a feeling that supports are not really going to be having a very good time in the first place. So we expect changes aside from just, support comp changes. From what they showed, Jubilee uses her firework energy, firework style projectiles to both heal and do damage. She has speed boosts and things like that, healing bubbles, mobility, knockback, and her ultimate that can push enemies away, while also creates that big swing fighting thing. So this is not just another backline heal bot. Jubilee looks like she's going to be more like a White Fox, where she's going to have healing, damage, self-survivability, and displacement as well. That means she can end up being really annoying to dive, which you're going to need a lot of that since dive is going to be a little bit more of a pain in the butt to kill. And then we have the other new hero, who's the Hood, who we haven't seen much more of because he'll be the Season 9.5 hero. Content-wise, we are also getting a new map, which will be on Thebes, or in Thebes, rather. This is a convoy map, and it's supposed to launch on July 23rd, so we won't be getting it at the launch of Season 9. So even if the launch patch is already huge, obviously we know that the season is not done after that. We'll be getting a bunch of new skins, second new hero, the map, and more content throughout the season. There is also a murder mystery minigame called Death of Apocalypse, where players are basically sorting through clues and lies to figure out who killed Apocalypse. I actually think this is pretty cool, sort of similar to the Blood Hunt type of thing, but I never really got too much into playing that myself. We have the Avengers Age of Ultron crossover, which is the movie that they're up to now within the path to Doomsday, where players just battle Ultron at Avengers Tower. They spoke on that a little bit. Getting into the actual patch, this is where things get a little bit crazy. The biggest global change is the ultimate generation. Vanguards and Duelists are having damage to energy conversion reduced from 70 to 55%. Strategists are also taking a hit, with their healing to energy conversion going from 75 to 60%, and damage to energy conversion going from 75 to 55%. It's massive, people. It's massive. You all know, you've all seen the videos already. Mine is coming a little bit late, but this is just, changes are going to be really huge. Team-up changes are going to be huge. We're going to get into some of those next. But yeah, this is big stuff. Ultimates are going to be coming online slower across the board. Team fights will not snowball as hard off the old cycling as they normally do. Players are probably going to have to be more careful about when they actually want to commit to their ults. Strategists especially, it's not just going to be like, you pop a gambit ult and you win. This means you probably won't farm ult as fast by just pumping heals all fight either. The ultimate economy is going to matter a lot more. That's all I'll say. The next huge system change is those regenerative shields that we saw. This is a new type of health that works like base health, but if you avoid damage for 5 seconds, it starts regenerating, and you can fully recover over the next 5 seconds. Heroes with the mechanic, which there is a specific list of the heroes that are going to be receiving this mechanic, will be rewarded for disengaging. I know Spider-Man is one of them, so that's a great example for, you disengage, you're able to get your shield back and, regenerate your health without having to look around for a health pack or expect heals. Which will help the strategist a little bit too, because you won't have to focus as much on your DPS, you focus on your tanks. That's a really big change for the dive heroes, especially as we just mentioned with Spider-Man, and then, tanks that like to take space. This alone is just going to change the pace of the game so much. The other huge system change, obviously, I said before, was the team up change. Team up anchors basically being removed, gone, and a lot of heroes are losing those passive team up anchor bonuses. I think the way that they're doing it is you'll have an option between those loadouts. You'll have the anchor option, you'll have the vice versa as well. That's why so many characters are getting weird looking buffs and nerfs at the same time, which we saw from those little clips that they showed. Some heroes are losing bonus health, bonus damage, or bonus healing, and then they're getting compensated in other areas. They're confident that this is going to balance everything, so I'm confident too. If you look at the patch notes and think, why is this hero getting nerfed? Why they were never even broken? That's why, because they're trying to balance everything out, along with all of the new heroes now having their team up abilities. And Zion mentioned that yesterday in the live stream. All right, so big role changes. We got the Vanguards, right? Doctor Strange is looking like a winner. His base health is going up from 575 to 650, and the Shield of Seraphim is going from 700 to 850. On top of that, if Invisible Woman is selected for the team up with him, that shield goes up by another 150%, bringing it to 1,000, and that is a lot of shielding for Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange comps are going to be very strong, especially if you're playing, around that frontline barrier value. Invisible Woman players should pay attention to this, because even though she lost her old team up anchor healing bonus, her value with Strange is going to be super real. Cap, Hulk, Thor, Angela, Rogue, Venom, bunch of other frontline heroes are getting those regenerative shields added, to their kit. Often at the cost of them at their base health, and old anchor bonuses as well. So the tank meta might shift away from pure raw HP and more towards cycling pressure, disengaging, and using shields efficiently. Hulk is interesting because his heavy blow damage is going up from 40 to 50, but his base health is being reduced. He gets a regenerative shield, and his ultimate costs more. So Hulk's probably going to hit harder moment to moment, but you're not going to be throwing out the Hulk smash as often. Devil Dinosaur, he's getting tankier too. More base health, better critical hit damage reduction, and enemies gain less energy when damaging him. It sounds annoying to deal with, especially if teams, are struggling to burn him down, which, we all know he does have a lot of health. Getting into the Duelists, I'll go over a couple of them. Cyclops is getting a pretty hard hit. His Optic Blast damage is going from 25 to 21. Ricochet Force damage is dropping from 80 to 70. And his Propulsion Burst and Optic Ascent are going from 12 seconds to 15-second cooldowns. So Cyclops players, you guys are going to feel that a little bit. Less damage, less mobility, longer cooldowns. It's a real nerf, and I think, we were expecting that. Iron Man is also getting toned down a little bit because of how strong his team-up synergy, was apparently testing. Repulsor Blast and Unibeam numbers are going down, especially during Armor Overdrive. So if you're worried about Iron Man being insane with the new team-up system, it looks like the developers were worried about it too. Hela is interesting because she's losing that big team-up anchor damage boost, but her kit is getting some insanely good buffs. The Nightsword Thorn damage goes from 70 to 80. Her fall-off is better. She can also freely fly now, in any direction when she's free from her crow form, or while in her crow form, and then afterwards it carries as well, and it's just going to make Hela look a lot smoother and even more threatening. And we all saw her ult upgrades with the Namor with the Namor team up and having the squids every ult charge. So they're changing a lot here. We're getting some of these duelists are going to be scary. Psylocke is another one to watch. Her crossbow damage goes up. She's getting a regenerative shield as well, and she now has stronger team up interactions. She's got Emma Frost, Cloak and Dagger, and it just sounds like she's going to become scarier, and people are going to be playing her a lot more as well. Black Cat, Black Panther, Daredevil, Magic, and Star-Lord, they are also getting that shield. And Spider-Man as well, as I mentioned earlier, and it really seems like the devs want mobile or flank style characters to play around those resets rather than constantly needing their supports to heal them up, which is what I mentioned earlier. The biggest duelist conversation, obviously Black Widow. That major rework which we saw yesterday, her primary fire is being changed so she could shoot more rapidly without needing the default ADS sniper style. Her charged electroplasma blast can now be used outside of her ultimate and apply a slow, and her ultimate is being changed into a sniper mode with piercing bullets and a wider hitbox. She still won't one-shot on crits, but this sounds like a massive attempt to make Black Widow more viable and less clunky, and it seems like it will. I saw some gameplay of it and it doesn't look bad. You're going to see a lot more combos. Okay, so biggest watch this character immediately. Black Widow changes, yes. Everyone talked about it already. It was leaked kind of early into the game. Now we move into the strategists a little bit. I think they're going to take the biggest hit. The global ult generation changes and the removal of the team up anchor and healing boost and things like that. I really think the strategists are going to feel that. Cloak's getting direct healing buffs across our kit, I guess, to make up for some of those anchor healing, the removal of those team up anchor healing boosts and stuff like that. So that's why we'll see, I guess, base healing go up a little bit for some healers. So like I said, Cloak is getting direct healing buffs across her kit. The Life Force Dagger healing goes up. The Veil of Life Force healing goes up. Dagger Storm healing goes up. And they lose the 15% team up anchor healing boost. Yeah, so Invis is getting a direct buff to orb projection healing. The outgoing heal now goes from 45 to 50, and the return heal goes from 35 to 40. But she's going to lose that 15% team up anchor healing as well. So it's not like 100% simple straight buff. Her individual ability feels better, but the old passive healing boost is going to be gone as well. Unfortunately, I'm a Invis main, so that hurts. Well, Invis and Fox main, and now Jubilee. I'm a strategist main, so I'm frustrated, but excited at the same time. The real question is whether the stronger orb projection plus the Doctor Strange team up value makes up for the fact that she's going to be losing the passive and the 15%. Luna Snow, she's going to lose her 10% damage boost from the number one idol, but the healing boost goes from 10 to 20%, and idol's aura healing boost on an attached ally goes from 35 to 40%. So Luna is going to be pushed more firmly into the, keep the team alive rather than I'm going to play DPS Luna. Mantis is getting some specific team up buffs. Star-Lord, the healing flower gets stronger. Warlock, her self-healing through nature's favor gets better during natural anger. This is going to make her stronger in the right comps. I still expect her to be played only in triple support, but we'll see if triple support's even going to be a thing anymore. But I don't think these changes are going to make her universally stronger in every match. Rocket, as we all know, he was buffed, prior to the start of prior to the upcoming season 9. His ult charge, I believe, was increased, and his healing was increased. But now he's going to get better healing through his repair mode. His ultimate is being nerfed. The ultimate now costs more and is now distance space fall off for the damage boost and bonus health generation. It's a pretty big deal because his ult has been a pretty strong safety net. As I mentioned, it was buffed prior. Ultron's drones are getting stronger healing, going from 30 per second to 35 per second. Adam Warlock is going to get more health, but his less cosmic cluster damage, and he gets an ammo capacity boost paired with Ultron. Then there's White Fox, who is my primary main right now. Fox is not untouched, but not very touched by this patch. Spirit Sanctuary's cooldown is going from 12 to 15 seconds, and she's going to lose the 10% team up anchor healing boost. So real support nerfs in terms of, uptime and baseline healing value. But when she uses the Fox form, her total health is going from 900 to 1200, which needed that 100%. The Fox is killed way too quickly. I understand, but it has its pause healing, so it needs to be stronger and it needs to be able to be up a little bit longer. Fox looks like she's losing consistency but gaining more survivability, which is, I think, the point of the character. She could defend herself and get away, and I think that's the point. It's not for her to be like a super damaged DPS or anything like that. I mean, she has some good combos and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, survivability, keep your team up. That's it. So for the meta, I would say my early read is that Season 9 is going to be slower in terms of ultimate cycling, as we spoke about earlier, but I think a lot more chaotic in neutral fights because of those shields, and team up loadouts, a lot more chaotic as well. Heroes that can disengage, reset, and re-enter fights are probably going to feel a lot better, and teams that, don't confirm kills are going to get punished because they're going to go get their regenerative shield, and then they're just going to come back and they're going to fight you again, and you're going to be low if you don't have it. So I think teams that are unable to, get final hits, you're going to struggle a lot. So at the same time, team up choices, we know they're going to matter a lot more now. You're going to have loadouts. Anchors are gone. Loadouts are changing now how heroes react. It is not just about picking the strongest individual hero anymore. Some heroes are only really going to be truly scary when they're paired with the right teammate, which we're going to see a lot of. The biggest characters that I would watch right off the bat are going to be your Jubilee, Black Widow, Strange, Hela 100%, Psylocke, Luna Snow, Fox a little bit, Invis, Rocket, Devil Dinosaur as well, depending on how annoying he becomes with the extra durability. Jubilee is obviously, you know, the headline because she's the new strategist, and when new strategists, you know, come in, they change the meta a little bit. They're a lot stronger. Black Widow, obviously you're going to have a lot of people playing her. She is she's going to be more playable. It's the biggest rework out of everybody that's receiving a rework, which I would say is everybody. Doctor Strange is going to be a lot more of a stronger frontline anger. Hela is going to be much more flexible. Fox and Invisible Woman both have changes that support mains need to test before judging too hard, so we don't know about their changes yet. But I like to just throw that in there because those are my two mains at the moment. So season 9, it just overall looks like a real meta reset, and that happens, you know, most seasons, but this is a significant meta reset. The game is changing. We're going back to Marvel Rivals season 0 almost, if I had to say. This is not one of those patches where 2 heroes get tiny number changes and everyone keeps playing the same comps. The entire team up structure is changing, ult economy is changing, health pools are changing, shields are changing, and the new hero is a strategist. So what comes from that? So my plan is play Jubilee when she comes out, try to get her to Lord, feel out how these shields are going to work in the real-time games, and you know, see which supports survive this, you know, loss of their team up anchor boost from healing, or for healing rather. Let me know in the comments, guys, what change you think is going to be the most broken: Jubilee, Black Widow's rework, the shields, or the new team up system. Obviously I'm going to say it's the team up system or the shields, but it's nice to note those other big changes as well. If you want the full follow-up after the patches go live, which I think they did, so we're going to take a look at those as well. I'll be breaking those down, and we'll take a look at, you know, before Friday, hopefully, the best heroes, biggest winners, biggest losers, and what the Season 9 meta is going to look like once people start playing it. Okay, well, thank you all for watching my first ever video and this breakdown of the Season 9 to come, and I'll see you guys on the stream on Friday. So check me out on Twitch, Brolixon as well. We'll be streaming our placement matches, and we'll be hopefully, you know, getting some games in as the new characters. So I hope you guys are excited for these changes, and I'll see you later.